Let's meet my first guest now. She is a former Coronation Street star turned social media sensation. She has graced our screens on shows like I'm a Celebrity, which is actually done twice, and Celebs Go Dating, while also modelling, influencing and raising her 3 stunning kids. It is the one and only, the lovely Helen Flanagan. Oh, how lovely to see you.
Vanessa, thank you so much for having me.
And I'm glad. Yes, would you look, please sit down. You are the first person to sit on that brand new sofa on my brand new set in my brand new sitting room. What do you think?
Oh, honestly, it's amazing. But enough about me. Vanessa, this is your first show. How are you feeling?
Wildly nervous for some reason, even though I've been doing this for at least 500 years. I'm still shaking, haven't been able to sleep all night, but also incredibly excited.
The set looks gorgeous as well.
Pretty,
it's
isn't
beautiful.
it? Modelled on my actual house, the actual Phelps Towers.
Gorgeous.
I thank you very, very much. So it's so wonderful to have you here on the very first show. And the thing I really have wondered about you is, you are obviously the absolute model of models for glamour. I mean, you look sensational.
Oh, thank you.
If you go on your Instagram, there you are, sometimes wearing very few clothes, sometimes wearing the most elaborate clothes, but always looking, you know, staggering.
Oh, thank
Do
you,
you
Vanessa.
feel very confident on the inside, or is the inside of you a different person from this very polished person that we see on the outside?
I think we all have our days as women, don't we? When we don't feel our best. I mean, for me, to be honest with you, it depends where I am in my cycle and how I feel about myself. But yeah, I love to glam up. You know, I suppose I'm very northern like that. I love to glam and what have you. But yeah, I think we have days where we feel more confident in ourselves than others. But
And you know, you have been famous for so long and you're still only 34, so you were only 9 years old. How
Yes,
did you
yeah, I
feel
was,
as a 9-year-old scampering on to the set of Coronation Street? What was it like?
you see, when I look back, I was so lucky because I've got so many amazing memories from Coronation Street, but it was all I ever knew, Vanessa. So half of my life was at school and half of it was on set with a tutor. So it's all I knew, really, but it was... I was really lucky. You know,
We can actually see now how you were. This is you in action as a young Rosie Webster in Corrie.
Were that Amy saw this morning?
I don't know, I couldn't see him properly.
What are we going to do?
They're going to kill us when we get back to camp and they find out.
Should we go back and get him?
What about that fella, though?
What about Wayne?
Do you remember that? Do you remember shooting that?
you know, I can't remember that, no, but it's really sweet watching that. And I used to love working with Jack as well. We used to tutor together. I think I had quite a crush on Jack, actually, when I was younger. But yeah, it's so lovely watching back those memories, really special.
What about the pressure, though, of doing this unthinkable thing, which is getting puberty and going through all that really difficult stuff where most teenagers just want to hide away in their bedrooms and deal with their blackheads and their oily foreheads and all that. And you're on the telly with literally millions of people watching you almost every night of the week.
Definitely, because I remember I used to have really bad acne as well when I was younger, and I used to have to film, and I used to have horrible tweets saying that I was ugly and spotty, and I remember that was difficult. But I suppose, like, growing up in the public eye, you know, like, any mistake or any cringy outfit you made or anything is always out there, I suppose, to be judged. Because I was asked the other day, would I like my daughter to be in the public eye? And I probably wouldn't, to be honest. But yeah, I just take it with a pinch of salt, and I think it's given me like a thicker skin, you know?
So when people criticise you, which, I mean, social media is an absolute minefield of adoration, inappropriate messages, pictures of other people's genitals, which we'll get to later, but also hatred. You know, people can say the vilest things. And have you managed to develop some kind of tough skin so you don't, rhinoceros hide?
I mean, I did I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here when I was 22, and I was kind of fed to the lions, really, with that. So I kind of developed a thick skin, and I don't let things bother me. I don't know what it is, because I'm quite a sensitive person, actually, but I almost see it as like a work thing, and I know that I'm a nice person, and my friends, so I just, doesn't.
And what about your relationship, which also blossomed in the public eye, didn't it? With a footballer, you were very young.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking at him, everybody was looking at you. Was that something that you had in common?
Yeah, because I remember the first time Scott had a football game and we were pictured together, and before I knew it, my mum was like, oh, Helen, you're on the news about it. You know, it wasn't the news, it was the TV show, I think it was on This Morning or something, or Lorraine or something. And I was like, oh.
And you're 19 at this point?
Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, I was 19, yeah.
And you were together for how many years, you two?
We were together for 13 years.
13 years?
Yeah, a really, really long time, 13
and
years.
he's the dad of your 3 beautiful children.
Yes, yeah.
You were engaged for a while.
Yes.
Then there was a split, and as usual for your life, and actually for mine as well, unfortunately, that's all in the public eye too when you split from him.
Yeah. No,
and you've got these 3 children that somehow you've got to pilot through the fact that their dad and you have split up, and everybody knows about it. I remember my kids were on the school coach, and Chris Tarrant was talking about it on Capital Radio. And that's not how they found out, but they saw everybody else in the coach hearing about their mum and dad splitting up.
It's so hard for children. And yeah, my daughter, like I had something in the press in January, and I remember my little girl went to school and someone said something unkind to her at school, and she got really upset because she's like, that's my mummy. And
exactly.
Yeah, so it's not nice, is it?
It's quite hard to know how to prepare them, what to say, because you never know where it's going to come from or when, really, do you?
Yeah, I know it can be really hard. And then I kind of think, I almost feel, you kind of feel a bit of a guilt for kind of being in the public eye and then kind of maybe dealing with something like that. But there again, sometimes it's just your job, and, you know, it's hard, isn't it?
I think parenting is unbelievably hard. We're going to be talking about blended families and how you do that later on in the programme. But eventually you split from who was effectively your childhood sweetheart. And you've talked a bit about why. And you've said you really can't stand each other. You have a deep-rooted love for each other, but you cannot bear each other. Is that true?
No, it's not. I think I've probably caught me on a bad day. Me and Scott, actually, we're getting on fine. It was my little boy's birthday party, and we both did that together. But I also think it's quite nice for you. And for me, I definitely think it's better for me and my mindset and my mental health. I think if you come to a little bit of peace, for me, that's definitely, because I've got so many memories with my ex that were so lovely and special to me. And, you know, I'd rather have that and look at it in a way with like love, really, instead of feeling these kind of feelings of maybe like when you feel angry or what have you.
Difficult though to do.
Yes,
I mean, very lovely if you can, but hard, isn't it?
It is, but I think it makes it less sad. But I'm kind of 3 years down the line now, where I think it's just a process. I think when you go through a bad breakup and you process all these different emotions and then I think you come to a place where you feel a little bit more calmer.
And also you've got the 3 children, which means you've got to keep a lid on whatever it is you might be feeling and certainly keep it to yourself.
Absolutely,
also difficult to do, because you feel like when a journalist knocks on you, do feel like saying, well, this is how I really feel. I feel like this, I feel like this, but you can't. Now, speaking about being in a relationship, there's a question I want to ask both Helen and you at home. Do you think you need a partner to be happy? Are you more content when there's someone to cuddle up with? Or do you think single life can be all you want it to be? You are your own best friend. Remember when Emma Watson went to that party and she went as her own escort? Do you remember?
Oh, did she?
I'm taking myself. That's who I'm going with, by myself. Get your calls in now. The number's 0207 862 2222. I mean, I know how I feel about this. How do you feel about it? When you split with Scott, did you think I must find another partner and it must be urgent?
See, I've never not had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend at 17 that I lived with. And then within a few months, I was with Scott. And then obviously we were together forever. And then even when I was dating, there was always kind of like a man that like I'd either be obsessed with or, you know, I've never, and then obviously now I'm with Robbie, I've never not had a boyfriend. But when I did celebs go dating, because obviously I know you did celebs go dating, I wasn't really happy about it because I don't think it sounds very attractive, but they said to me that I was codependent, and obviously I wasn't thrilled with it. But I find it very difficult to not have a partner. But then I don't think we should beat ourselves so much about it, because isn't that natural to want? It's a natural instinct, isn't it, to want to be with someone, isn't it?
Honestly, don't ask me to help you with this one, because I feel very much that I like to have someone there.
Yeah.
I like, you know, if there's a fox in the garden, I want to say to someone, there's a fox in the garden. It may not be the most fascinating comment, but I want someone to say, oh, look, or, you know, want a cup of tea, how are you? And also someone that I'm supposed to love and someone that's meant to love me. But everybody seems to frown on that enormously and say, you know, only when you've learned to love yourself, only when you're content in your own company, honey, Vanessa, then will you meet someone? But this is the longest I've been single since I was born, I think. I had a boyfriend from the age of about 10, and I've had just about 2 years of my own. I never thought I'd survive it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it.
No, I think it's really lovely to have someone there, and I'm a big romantic as well. Like I love having a boyfriend. I'm much happier having a boyfriend. I feel like a lot more kind of calmer. I'm more like, especially if I've got a lovely boyfriend, like together.
We're going to talk about your boyfriend in a minute because he is a calming influence on you. That's one of the things that he said, that, you know, he keeps you nice and calm. We're going to talk about that in a second. But we're taking your calls. How lovely to hear from you. Lots and lots of calls pouring in. Let's go straight away to Michelle in Devon. Hi, Michelle.
Morning, Vanessa. Morning, Helen.
Hi.
Afternoon, sorry.
Do you think you need a partner to be happy, or have you found a way to survive without?
Without, I've been on my own. I'm going to shock you now. You said 2 years. I've been on my own 14 years.
Hey, how is it?
You know, you've got to find happiness within yourself.
Well, how do you do it, though? How have you found it, Michelle? What have you done to find it?
You just find things to enrich your life that make you happy. Because I think I learned years ago, happiness don't come from other people. It comes from sort of finding a pathway in your own life and just filling your days with things that you enjoy. You do miss, you know, don't get me wrong, you do miss conversation, or like you say, you miss somebody to look at the telly with sometimes. But in general, you know, I'm in my 50s. I've had more hassle than I could, you know, you can write down on 10 pieces of paper. So I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. And
are you hoping that one day,
13.
Michelle, are you hoping that one day you might meet someone, or have you completely given up any sort of interest in doing that?
I've kind of given up, but it's not given up. I just believe what's to be is to be.
Yeah.
You know, fate. I think you believe in fate. So if somebody's out there, they're out there. If they're not, I'm not going to lose any sleep about it.
You see, she's really found that inner peace.
Yes.
Michelle, really great to hear from you. Thank you very much indeed. I am striving for it. I'm trying to do it. But when I come home, wherever I've been, I open the door, it's dark, there's no one there. And I feel this kind of like this empty feeling. I know you're meant to try not to. And when I get there, I'll tell everyone, but at the moment I'm not there yet. Let's go to Avtar, who's on the line in Birmingham. Hello, Avtar. Thanks for ringing. How are you?
I'm not too bad. First of all, congratulations on the new show.
Thank you. Nice of you to say. Tell me about being single or being loved up. Which are you?
The latter.
Oh, lucky you.
I met my partner when I was 20. I'm now 52. So we've been together for 33 years this year.
Gosh, well done.
Never been single, and I wouldn't be without her.
You wouldn't be without her. Well, that's a lovely thing. I hope she's watching this and he can hear you, because that's a very lovely thing to say.
No, she's in the other room, so she's probably watching you on the TV.
I hope she is. He loves you. He would never be without you, and that's what he's rung in to say. So that's a very touching thing. So just tell me the secret of your happy relationship, Avtar, so we can use you as a resource that we can all learn from.
It's quite. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, when we go to bed together, I just reach out, make sure she's there. She's put a cold feet on me, and and in the morning I like looking at her when I wake up. It's you have to enjoy each other's company.
This is actual true love, isn't it?
It's really sweet.
This is very sweet.
I enjoy her. But she tolerates me. She doesn't love me. She tolerates me. Bless her.
Oh, she loves you after all these years. Don't be so. So go into the other room where she's watching television when you put the phone down and say, do you just tolerate me? And she'll tell you she loves you and put her arms around you. I bet you anything. Thank you so much for ringing. Nice to talk to you. Angela's on the line in Derbyshire. Hey, Angela. Hi.
Hiya.
Tell me about having a partner or life without one.
I've got one now, however, beforehand I didn't. And I had to get to a point where I was more about self-acceptance, and it was to do with being okay with myself, otherwise...
Well, get me to that point. How did you get to that point, Angela? What did you do to get yourself there?
I had to work through my past and work through the way in which the things that have happened to me, and understand that things weren't my fault, and just to be okay with myself and know that what I'm doing right now is the best I can be, and the best all I am now is who I am, and I'm okay with that.
And when you got to that point, is that when you met someone?
A little bit after that, I think, because I do believe that otherwise you end up being in a codependent relationship, and then I think when you are with that at that point. They'll end up, if something happens, whether they pass away or you split up, they can take away from you if you're not 100% within yourself, and then that then leaves a hole. Whereas if you are 100% okay with yourself, they can enrich your life, like you can enrich theirs.
Let's bring Helen in, because they said to her on Celebs Go Dating that you liked a codependent relationship, didn't they? Quite sure what they meant exactly,
yeah, they said that, but I wouldn't say the relationship that I have is at all codependent now.
No.
I really work on myself. I definitely have my own life, you know, my own career, my kids, my own friends, everything. It's just by luck that I've found a really nice man that I just really enjoy having my time with. But I wouldn't say my relationship at all is like codependent. Though I understand what Celebs Go Dating was saying, that I do struggle to be single and I do struggle to not have someone there, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's a natural kind of instinct to want to kind of have a partner, because I just think it's a natural thing.
Let's go to Shirley. Shirley's in Falkirk. Hi, Shirley. Thanks for calling. What do you think about being a singleton or having a partner, what it's like to be alone?
Well, I'm on my own now. I was with my partner for 15 years. No children, but we did have dogs together. But now I've been single for 5 years and I'm very happy. I got myself a dog.
And the bit where, you know, it's the weekend and all your pals are busy with their husbands or their children or whatever it is, and it's just you, Shirley, thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a whole empty Sunday, what am I meant to do? How do you feel that, and how do you feel about that?
My dog needs lots of walking. She's only one. And I've actually met a lot more people where I live because I've got a dog. So it doesn't bother me going out at the weekend. And my partner and I are actually the best of friends.
OK, well, I may have to consider that, mightn't I? And then we'll have a show dog if I get a dog. We'll have to consider it. Shirley, thank you. Let's go to Franco, who's on the line in Northamptonshire. Hey, Franco.
Hello, Vanessa. You look absolutely stunning.
Well, you can phone every day at exactly this time and tell me that, and I will absolutely be thrilled to bits. Thank you. I've only had about 7 or 8 hours in makeup and lots of hair and, you know, that's all it's taken, nothing much. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah, that's great. I've had 3 marriages, all fallen apart, 2 10-year marriages and a 7-year, which ended October last year. I just get depressed when I'm with someone because they're trying to control me.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going to say you were depressed when the relationship had come to an end, not you were depressed in the relationship.
No,
wow.
I was ecstatic when all the relationships came to an end.
Oh, my God.
Really, I should have learnt the first time round.
Why do you think you stayed in them so long if you were so miserable in them? Because you didn't want to be alone?
Because they told me, oh, I'm going to change. You know, I didn't want change. You know, I just wanted someone to be nice to me and not accuse me of doing stuff behind their backs, which I never have done.
Yes. And now? So now you're on your own, which is better? You're happier or not?
I'm on my own. I've got a lovely convertible. I've got a lovely lifestyle, and I'm going to stay single.
Daisy, I bet you'd get snapped up by next week. Ring me and tell me if you get snapped up, OK?
I will.
All right. Thank you. Nice to talk to you. Still to come on the